But there are some credit cards that even the devil shouldn't apply for. Why are you applying for these cards? Don't apply for high interest credit cards. They cost so much at the end of the day. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, The Bulletproof Life. My name is Ronke Odewumi and I'm delighted to have you here. If you're new on here, I talk about budgeting, saving, investing, becoming debt-free, and building a bulletproof life, a life that's secure from failure and financial setbacks. So let's get right into today's topic. What are the best strategies for paying off debt? How can you pay off your debt quickly and easily? Before you decide your payment strategies, there are some things you need to do with your debt, before you start paying them off. You need to know how much you are owing who. No, let me rephrase that. You need to know who you are owing, how much you are owing them, what's the interest rate, what action have they taken so far against you, when is the payment due, how long do you have to make the payment, and so on. And for you to do that, you need a debt prioritization tool, a tool to help you, prioritize your debt so you know which one is pinching you the most, which one is costing you more, which one is going to take the longest to pay off, and all of that. Now, I recently launched a book, my budget and saving book, and I've got a link to it in the description. You can get it off Amazon really easily. And that book, in addition to providing a place for you to do your budgeting and track your saving, has debt prioritization tool in there, along with another debt tool to support your debt repayment. So you need to prioritize your debt. That's the first thing you need to do before you decide your payment strategy. Check out my book in the description section if you would like to use that to prioritize your debt. So once you've prioritized your debt, you can now decide your repayment strategy. And there are three main repayment strategies I'm going to talk about today. The first repayment strategy I'm going to talk about is the Snowball repayment strategy. The Snowball strategy is a very popular strategy. It's been talked about a lot by financial gurus like Dave Ramsey, and it works. And so let me describe what the Snowball strategy is. It's when you pay off your debt by paying off the smallest first. So you allocate the largest amount of money you have to your smallest debt. So remember, you prioritized your debt already, so you know which one is the biggest, you know which one is the smallest. So you go for the smallest one, you pay the minimum on all your other debts, the minimum that's required, and then you put the lump of your money to the smallest debt. So what this means is that you're going to pay off your smallest debt first. So your smallest debt gets the bulk of your money, and all the other debts, whether they are big, whether they are medium, they just get the minimum that's required. What's the minimum payment? £5. I put £5 to it. What's the minimum payment on that other one? £10. I put £10 to it. And then to the smallest, you put a whole chunk. Now, the beauty of the Snowball strategy is that it gives you a good sense of gratification once you pay off that small debt, which is going to happen quickly because remember, it's the smallest. So it's probably $100, £50, £200, that kind of debt. You pay it off, you strike it off your prioritization list, you strike it off your list of debt. Yay! Something under the belt. You're doing good stuff. So the Snowball strategy gives you that sense of fulfillment and helps you see quickly that you're making a change, you're making a dent to your debt. It's beautiful. Now, the downside of the Snowball strategy is that it can cost you more. In fact, it will cost you more. Your debts will be paid off, but they will cost you. Why is that? It's very simple. Remember, you prioritized your debt and you're going at the smallest first. This means you're ignoring the interest on your debt. You're not thinking about how much that debt is costing. You're simply going for the debt that has the smallest principal amount. Now, when you do that, and you're somebody that has high interest debts, those high interest debts, they are continuing to run, especially if they're large. So let's say you've got a debt that's large, £5,000, £10,000, and it's got an interest rate of 10%. The interest rate on that debt is costing you almost as much as the debt of £50 or £100 that you are hurrying to pay off. Now, this doesn't mean that the Snowball strategy doesn't work. It just means, again, that it's going to cost you more. So I've spoken to people who have interest rates of 10%, 15% on a loan or on a credit card. And I've met people who have interest rates going upwards of 29%. There are some credit cards that even the devil shouldn't apply for. Why are you applying for these cards? Don't apply for high interest credit cards. They cost so much at the end of the day. I digress. The snowball strategy, because you're paying off your loans that have the smallest principal amount, is going to cost you more. At the end of the day, when you finally pay off all your debts, the total interest you would have paid off on all your debts will be more. That is the price of you getting that sense of fulfillment with the snowball strategy. Now, the second strategy of paying off loans or paying off debt is called the avalanche. Just like it sounds, it's like an avalanche. You're paying off the biggest first. So you've prioritized your debt again. You see the biggest, you see the smallest. And what you do is you pay the minimum on all your debts and put the bulk of your money to the largest debt. Now, with the avalanche, you don't get that sense of gratification immediately because remember, you're throwing money at the biggest debt. So it's not going to make a dent very quickly and it's not going to make a dent immediately, but it is going to make a dent over time. And that debt is going to cost you less because you're throwing money at the biggest debt, which probably, even at a low interest rate, is costing you a lot because 2% interest on £20,000 is still a lot if compared to 5% interest on £50. So that large loan that you're throwing money at using the avalanche method is going to cost you less overall than the snowball method. But you're not going to get that feeling of doing anything. It's just, a regular day. You're paying debt. You're tired. You're going at it. That's debt. That's the way debt is. You're paying it. Yeah, whatever. Well, that's it. With the avalanche, you have to be determined and disciplined and not out for that immediate gratification that snowball gives you. You just want to plod along and stick with it and keep chipping at it, keep banging at that door until you break it down. That's the beauty of the avalanche. Now, the third method is a method I've personally adopted myself. It's worked for me. I've coined this name. It's not a real name, but that's what I'm calling it. And I call it the Snowlanche. Yeah, it's the Snowlanche. And the Snowlanche, as you must have figured, is a hybrid of the snowball and the avalanche. How does that work? How does that work? Okay, how does that work? Stay with me. Stay with me. I'm so proud of this one. So the Snowlanche method is when you prioritize your debt, you identify the largest and the smallest, you pay the minimum on everything in between, you throw a chunk at the largest, and you try to pay off the smallest. So by trying to pay off the smallest, you get that gratification. At the same time, you're throwing a good chunk at the largest debt. For me, this particular strategy works a great deal. And that's because when you throw money at the largest and the smallest, you're reducing your cost. The bulk of your loan at the end of the day, when you do pay it off, it's not going to cost you as much as the snowball. It's not going to be cheap as the avalanche, but you're still going to get the gratification of paying off your smallest debt because you're also throwing money at the smallest debt that you have. So that's me introducing the Snowlanche. Do you like the Snowlanche? Do you think the Snowlanche is going to work for you? It's worked for me. I used it. I've used it before to pay off my debt by throwing money at the largest and the smallest debt that I have. So those are the 3 debt strategies I wanted to talk to you about today to help you pay off your debt really quickly and easily and to get you on that journey to financial freedom. Now, if you're somebody who still wants to have the conversation about paying off debt, you want to talk about consolidating your debt, you want help with prioritizing your debt and understanding it, you've tried to pay off, you don't know what to do right now, you're right there in the midst of that debt, and trust me, I know how that can feel. Please reach out to me. I'm always here to support, so you don't have to do this alone. I'm happy to walk the walk with you. So just get in touch with me via email or via social media, or even by dropping me a comment on this video. I'm happy to connect with you. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's been a delight making this one, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed making it. Please like it, drop me a comment, Don't forget to share it with your friends so we can all pay off debt and get on the financial independence, financial freedom lane. Don't forget to subscribe by pressing the red button on your right. There's nothing I love more than getting that email telling me that somebody is subscribed. And until my next video, you take care of yourself and keep living that bulletproof life. Bye-bye.